Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to see some countries that have slammed the door shut, or at least wedged a chair under the handle on immigration in 2024. Immigration is a complex beast, woven from history, economics, politics, and human drama. But before we get into the nitty-gritty of who's saying nope to newcomers and why, I want to ask you a tiny favor. If you find this video informative, give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Right then, let's dive in. First up on our global tour of immigration restrictions is Denmark, often hailed as the happiest place on earth. Known for its high quality of life, excellent healthcare, and strong social welfare system, Denmark consistently ranks at the top of global happiness indexes. But lately, Denmark's immigration policies have taken a turn for the less welcoming. The country has been tightening its borders and implementing more stringent immigration laws. The Danish government has become increasingly focused on preserving Danish culture and values. This includes promoting traditional Danish customs and ensuring that newcomers integrate into Danish society. They're worried about social cohesion and the preservation of cultural norms. The fear is that an influx of immigrants might dilute the cultural fabric that makes Denmark unique. As a result, Denmark has made it significantly harder for immigrants, particularly those from non-Western countries, to settle down. The government has introduced a series of measures aimed at controlling the number of immigrants. We're talking stricter family reunification rules, language tests, and even mandatory courses on Danish culture and values. Additionally, there are limitations on welfare benefits for new arrivals. These policies are designed to ensure that immigrants contribute to society and do not become a burden on the state. Denmark's approach highlights the tension between preserving national identity and embracing diversity. This balancing act is a challenge faced by many countries around the world. This tension is likely to become even more pronounced in the years to come, as global migration trends continue to evolve and countries grapple with the complexities of immigration and integration. Next, we hop over to Australia, a land of sunshine, surfing, and surprisingly strict immigration policies. Known for its beautiful landscapes and vibrant cities, Australia has always been a popular destination for tourists and immigrants alike. Australia has a long history with immigration, welcoming people from all over the world to build a diverse and multicultural society. But recently, their focus has been on securing their borders and deterring illegal maritime arrivals. This shift in policy has sparked significant debate both within Australia and internationally. They've implemented Operation Sovereign Borders, a military-led initiative aimed at stopping boats carrying asylum seekers from reaching Australian shores. Using the Navy to intercept boats carrying asylum seekers, the operation has been both praised for its effectiveness and criticized for its harshness. Instead of reaching Australian shores, these asylum seekers are turned away and redirected. They are sent to offshore detention centers in places like Nauru and Papua New Guinea, where conditions have been widely criticized. Australia argues these measures combat people smuggling and protect their borders, ensuring that only those who follow legal pathways can settle in the country. Critics, however, argue this approach is inhumane and violates international law, pointing to the suffering of those detained in offshore centers. It's a complex issue with no easy answers, balancing national security with human rights and international obligations. Australia's stance on boat arrivals has made it harder for asylum seekers to find refuge, sparking ongoing debates about the future of its immigration policies. Let's head over to Japan, known for its technological prowess and reluctance to fully embrace immigration. Japan has a system for accepting immigrants, but it's complex and often favors highly skilled professionals. Concerns about preserving Japan's cultural identity and social harmony contribute to this reluctance. Japan faces a shrinking population and labor shortages. Instead of fully opening the immigration floodgates, they're investing heavily in automation and robotics. It's a fascinating experiment, but only time will tell if robots can replace the need for human interaction and cultural vibrancy. Japan's approach to immigration remains cautious and calculated. Chapter 4. Hungary, building fences, not bridges. Hungary, under Prime Minister Viktor Orban, has become the poster child for muscular immigration control. Orban aims to keep Hungary culturally and ethnically homogeneous. To achieve this, Hungary built a razor-wire-topped, heavily guarded barrier along its borders with Serbia and Croatia. This fence was designed to stem the flow of asylum seekers and migrants. Orban's government has also implemented restrictive asylum laws and detention camps. Hungary argues these measures protect its borders and national identity. Critics argue Orban's policies are discriminatory and inhumane. The debate over Hungary's immigration policies continues to polarize the nation. Chapter 5. Poland. From solidarity to selectivity. Poland has taken a hard line on immigration, particularly refugees from the Middle East and Africa. The right-wing Law and Justice Party argues that accepting large numbers of Muslim refugees threatens Poland's Catholic identity and national security. Poland has refused to comply with EU quotas for accepting refugees and erected a border wall with Belarus. Critics accuse Poland of violating international law and abandoning its humanitarian obligations. Poland's approach to immigration is a stark contrast to its own history of displacement and reliance on solidarity. The debate over Poland's immigration policies remains contentious. Chapter 6. The United States. A nation built by immigrants, now making it harder to immigrate. The U.S. has implemented policies aimed at reducing both legal and illegal immigration. Over the past few years, these measures have become more stringent, reflecting a shift in the national attitude towards newcomers. These include stricter border enforcement, limits on asylum applications, and reduced refugee admissions. The impact of these policies is felt most acutely at the southern border, where many seek refuge from violence and poverty. The reasons for these restrictions range from national security concerns to economic pressures. Some argue that these measures are necessary to protect American jobs and resources. Others point to anxieties about cultural change and the fear of losing a perceived national identity. These fears are often amplified by political rhetoric and media coverage. The irony of a nation built by immigrants trying to pull up the drawbridge is not lost on anyone. The Statue of Liberty, a symbol of welcome, stands in stark contrast to the current climate. The debate over immigration is ultimately about what kind of nation America wants to be. It is a question of values and vision for the future. Will it continue to welcome those seeking a better life, offering opportunities and hope to the world's tired and poor, or will it turn inward, closing its doors to the very essence of what made it a beacon of freedom and opportunity? Across the pond we find the United Kingdom grappling with its post-Brexit identity and immigration. One of the driving forces behind Brexit was a desire to take back control of its borders and reduce immigration. The UK has introduced a points-based immigration system that prioritizes skilled workers. This new system has been met with mixed reactions. Some argue it's necessary to control immigration and ensure economic contribution. Others argue it's discriminatory and creates labor shortages. Brexit has ushered in a new era for immigration in the UK, characterized by greater control and increased selectivity. Canada, land of maple syrup hockey and a reputation for being the nice guy of global politics. Canada has a long history of welcoming immigrants and refugees, but even they have their limits. They've implemented policies to manage the flow and ensure successful integration. Canada's points-based immigration system favors skilled workers. Critics argue this system can be discriminatory and creates barriers for refugees. Canada also faces challenges related to illegal immigration and asylum seekers. While Canada is compassionate, they're not afraid to set boundaries and enforce their rules. Now let's jet over to South Korea, a nation that has transformed into a global economic powerhouse. South Korea faces a demographic crunch with a declining birth rate and aging population. To address this, they've been gradually opening their doors to immigration. Various visa programs attract skilled workers in key industries. South Korea still faces challenges in integrating immigrants into its homogeneous society. They grapple with cultural and linguistic barriers, job competition, and social cohesion. South Korea is at a crossroads, balancing the need for foreign workers with preserving its cultural identity. So there you have it, a glimpse into the complex and ever-evolving world of immigration in 2024. Countries around the globe are grappling with the challenges and opportunities presented by immigration. Immigration is not a black and white issue, it's multifaceted and nuanced. The debate over immigration is only going to intensify. It's a debate that demands our attention, compassion, and willingness to engage in thoughtful dialogue. How we address immigration will shape the world we leave behind for future generations. So that's our look at some of the countries tightening their immigration policies in 2024. The reasons behind these restrictions are complex and varied. Immigration is a global issue that's not going away anytime soon. It's a conversation we need to keep having even when it's difficult. How we treat those seeking a better life says more about us than it does about them.